As the world mourns Pope Francis, history's most secretive transfer of power begins. White smoke, the path to a new pope, guides you through this momentous transition. We explain exactly what happens next, leading to the dramatic conclave vote. Learn how each ritual unfolds, what each tradition means, and why these ancient ceremonies still matter today. Follow along as the throne of St. Peter stands empty and a new chapter in church history begins. White Smoke, available wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you know what a group of flamingos is called? That's just one of thousands of facts you'll discover on 5 daily trivia questions. Hi, I'm Mark Ellison. Join me every weekday for 5 mind-expanding questions about everything from ancient history to modern technology. Perfect for impressing friends or dominating your next pub quiz. 5 daily trivia questions. And the answer, a group of flamingos, is called a flamboyance. 5 daily trivia questions.
Calaroga Shark Media.
From Vatican City, where the funeral of the Pope somehow became all about Trump, this is Ballot.
A lot to get to today, including that photo everyone's talking about. Let's hit this. So the Pope passed away, and guess who snagged front row seats at the funeral? Donald Trump. That's right. Our president managed to get VIP seating, despite precedent saying he should be in the 3rd row. You know how funerals have a seating chart? Well, traditionally, Catholic royals get the front row, non-Catholic royals get the 2nd row, and regular old heads of state get the 3rd row based on their country's names alphabetically. But Trump, nope, he said, I'm sitting up front where I can see the action. Trump showed up in a midnight blue suit while everyone else wore black. Classic Trump move. This reminds me of when everyone agrees to wear costumes to a party, and that one guy shows up in jeans saying, "Oh, was I supposed to dress up?" Now, remember Pope Francis and Trump had some tension. The Pope criticized Trump's plans to deport millions of migrants, calling it a disgrace. So during the funeral, Cardinal Giovanni Battista Re basically subtweeted Trump right to his face by emphasizing, "Build bridges, not walls." I mean, talk about awkward. That's next level passive-aggressive. Even my passive-aggressive aunt, who gives diet books as Christmas presents, would say, "Whoa, take it down a notch." During the funeral, Trump and Ukrainian President Zelensky had an impromptu meeting inside St. Peter's Basilica. These two haven't exactly been besties lately. Their last meeting ended with Zelensky practically being kicked out of the White House with his lunch still on the table. They sat on metal chair, having what the White House called a very productive discussion. Sure, if by productive you mean awkward conversation between two people who can't stand each other but have to pretend they're fine because they're at a funeral. Trump wants Russia and Ukraine to make a deal, even posting on Truth Social that they are very close to a deal. And I'm very close to becoming an Olympic gymnast. All I need is talent, training, and to be about 25 years younger. The peace proposals from both sides couldn't be more different. Trump's plan would basically let Russia keep all the land they stole, while Zelensky wants Russia to pay billions in reparations. So yeah, they're super close to a deal. If by close you mean living on different planets, Zelensky later posted that it was a good meeting with potential to become historic. He even wrote, "Thank you, POTUS." See, he learned his lesson. Always thank Trump, even if you think his ideas are terrible. That's politics 101. Let's flash back 20 years to another papal funeral. When Pope John Paul II died, President George W. Bush flew to Rome with Bill Clinton and Bush Sr. 3 presidents, 1 plane, praying side by side. It was like the beginning of a joke. 3 presidents walk into a basilica. Fast forward to today. Trump and Biden couldn't even share a ride. Biden flew separately. I mean, considering Trump stripped Biden of his security clearances and regularly calls him the worst president ever, it's not shocking they didn't carpool. When asked if he planned to talk with Biden at the funeral, Trump seemed surprised Biden was even going, saying, "It's not high on my list. It's really not." That's diplomatic speak for "I'd rather talk to the corpse." And finally, let's not forget Melania Trump, who previously became the first practicing Catholic First Lady since Jackie Kennedy. During their first trip to the Vatican in 2017, she brought rosary beads for the Pope to bless, and later tweeted that the visit was one I'll never forget. She even requested to visit the pediatric care unit at the Bambino Gesù Hospital outside the Vatican, following in the footsteps of Princess Diana and Mother Teresa. When you're following in the footsteps of Diana and Mother Teresa, you're either doing something very charitable or you've taken a wrong turn at the gift shop. So there you have it, a funeral that turned into an impromptu world summit, with some awkward encounters, strategic seating arrangements, and diplomatic side-eyes. Politics never takes a day off, not even for a funeral. White smoke. The path to a new pope explores humanity's most elaborate and secretive transfer of power, a process now unfolding following the death of Pope Francis. This series reveals the hidden rituals, ancient traditions, and behind-the-scenes drama of papal transition. As the Catholic world enters this solemn period of mourning and anticipation, join us in witnessing how the Church has perfected this sacred process over 2,000 years and what happens in these crucial days when the throne of St. Peter stands empty. White Smoke brings listeners inside the conclave that will determine who will succeed Pope Francis and lead the Church into its next chapter. White Smoke, wherever you get your podcasts.
You can get this podcast completely ad-free right now. If you're on Apple, just click the banner that says Uninterrupted Listening, and you'll get your first month free. If you use Spotify or other podcast players, go to calaroga.com/plus. It's just $5 a month, and you'll get access to over 20 premium shows with no interruptions. Binge listen to new series like the political thriller Acting President, Signal Lost, where military secrets land on the wrong phone, and Pager Protocol, the thriller about exploding pagers in the wrong hands. Plus, enjoy daily shows like Palace Intrigue about the royal family, daily comedy news, and 5 daily trivia questions to test your knowledge, and White Smoke, taking you behind the scenes at what's happening right now at the Vatican. You also get all our hot shows like 5 good news stories. Enjoy your favorite content without any ad breaks. Remember, Apple users click the uninterrupted listening banner for your free first month, and everyone else head to calaroga.com/plus. Get ad-free listening today.
Tired of doom scrolling? Want news that won't make you want to live in a bunker? Check out 5 Good News Stories, where they find the silver lining in a world that's usually lined with something much less pleasant. The gang at 5 Good News Stories dig through the headlines to find 5 stories that prove humanity hasn't completely lost its mind. It's pretty much the opposite of this show. From scientific breakthroughs nobody's talking about to random acts of kindness that restore your faith in humanity, all delivered with the cutting wit you deserve. 5 Good News Stories, because sometimes the news doesn't have to suck. Subscribe to 5 Good News Stories wherever you get your podcasts. Tonight's the big annual gathering of journalists, and let me tell you, it's going to be about as fun as a colonoscopy with a GoPro. That's the big news from Washington. The White House Correspondents Dinner is happening, and neither the president nor any comedians will be there. That's right! The dinner that's traditionally known for presidents telling jokes and comedians roasting politicians will have neither. Trump decided to skip it, again, just like during his first term when he called the media the enemy of the people. They originally booked comedian Amber Ruffin, but then uninvited her after she called the Trump administration kind of a bunch of murderers on a podcast. The White House Correspondents Association president said they want to focus not on the politics of division, which is hilarious because division is Washington's main export these days. That's like going to Disney World and saying, let's focus not on the mouse. This dinner used to be a hot ticket during Obama's years. Remember when Obama roasted Trump back in 2011 while Trump just sat there with a face that looked like someone had just told him his comb-over was visible from space? Those were the days. Now the event has all the excitement of a PBS pledge drive. One journalist described previous dinners as standing in line forever and ever in the rain outside the Hilton Hotel with bad food and bad jokes. Sounds magical. Nothing says glamorous Washington event like getting soaked while waiting to eat rubber chicken. So tonight, instead of laughs and celebrity sightings, we're getting what amounts to a wake for traditional media. So, pour one out for the UHCA dinner tonight, where journalists will gather to celebrate their independence while simultaneously worrying about which tweet might get them banned from the White House tomorrow. That's our show for today. I'm Patrick Gutfield, and remember, in politics, even the dead can't escape the drama.